out. Girl, look at that body. Girl, look at that body. Girl, look at that body. I work out when I walk in the spot. This is what I see. Everybody stops and is staring at me. I got passion in my pants and I ain't afraid to show it. Show it, show it, show it. I'm sexy and I know it. Say less.
Pour a little of water on the sensor of the polar heart rate to make sure that the polar heart rate can detect the subject's heart rate easily.
The subject must wear the polar heart rate on the left side of his chest, which is placed on his left nipples.
Insert the data of the subject. Then, the subject needs to pull the calibration chamber for 6 times. The function of calibration chamber is to supply air during the test.
For the mask, firstly, the subject must choose a mask that's suitable and comfortable for him. A mask should cover up the nose and mouth perfectly to prevent the subject inhale air from the outside. The tester should help the subject to wear the mask. Make sure the red side of the stripe at the inside and the grey at the outside.
Tester should help the subject to wear the safety robe, because this equipment can avoid the subject from falling when they are extremely fatigued during the test. This equipment also will stop the machine immediately when it is strongly attracted. The tester helps the subject to connect the calibration chamber to the mask that the subject is wearing right now. Make sure it is perfectly fit in the mask.
Firstly, the subject do a warm-up session by walking on the treadmill for 3 minutes. After 3 minutes warm-up, the subject going to have first stage of the test. During the subject doing the test, the tester should take the subject's heart rate and RPE every 3 minutes. This test will end when the subject is fully fatigued.
So I ball so hard, motherfuckers wanna find me. But first niggas gotta find me. What's 50 grand to a motherfucker like me?
When the subject's RPE hit max level, the subjects are going to do recovery session.
It's only right that we be fair. Psycho, I'm libo to go Michael. Take your pick. Jackson, Tyson, Jordan, game 6. Fall so hard, got a broke clock. Rollies that don't tick tock. All the Mars that's losing time. Hidden behind all these big rocks. Fall so hard, I'm shocked too. I'm supposed to be locked up too. You escape, but I escape. You be in Paris getting fucked up too. Fall so hard, let's get faded. Liberties for like 6 days. Gold bottles, soul models. Spilling ace on my sick days. Fall so hard, bitch behave. Just might let you meet gay. Shot towns, B-rolls.
This is the equipment that we use for this test. This is the cycle ergometer, or in the other name is load ergometer.
That shit crack. That shit crack. That shit crack.
First of all, insert the data of the subject that we use for this test. Firstly, the subject need to do a warm-up by cycling until the rate reach between 60 to 80 range per minute. When the range per minute are achieved, the subject must maintain their momentum for 5 minutes. Before 5 minutes end, the tester need to count for 10 seconds to notice the subject that 5 minutes normal cycling will end and get ready to sprint for 30 seconds.
One foot in front of the other way, one breath leads to another, yeah. Just keep moving. Oh, look what I'm for the strength today. Listen out for the voice to say. Just keep moving.
After sprint for 30 seconds, the subject should do a recovery session for 2 or 3 minutes.
You can do this. Oh my God, don't stop running. Gotta burn those blues away.
Assalamualaikum. Today we are going to do a field test, which is sit and reach test. Sit and reach test is the most common measures of flexibility, and specifically it measures the flexibility of the lower back and hamstring muscle. So I want to introduce you to the equipment that we use for this test.
This is the validity, reliability and objectivity for sit and reach test.
Before we proceed to the test, I'm going to introduce you the subject that we use. Farisha is the subject that we use for this test. Firstly, the subject need to take off her shoes and sit on the floor with the leg stretched out straight ahead. The soles of the feet are placed flat against the box. Both knees should be locked and pressed flat to the floor. With the palms facing downwards and the hands on top of each other, the subject reaches forward along the measuring line as far as possible.
The next test is 40-meter sprint. The equipment that we use are stopwatch, marker, measuring tape. This is the validity, reliability and objectivity for 40-meter sprint test. So, this is the procedure for 40-meter sprint test. Start from a stationary position with one foot in front of the other. The front foot must be on the starting line. This runner should be stationary prior to starting. The person timing should stand at the finish line with one arm held high and core ready, followed by a sweep down their arm quickly to start the subject. As the arm sweeps down, the tester should start the stopwatch which is held in downward sweeping arm and finish the stopwatch as their chest pass through the finish line.